Yeah, so tell me a little bit about what you're doing to stay busy during the pandemic.
That's a good question. So, man, 2020, what a year. And I think I say that a bit of an understatement. I mean, first, our hearts go out to people who've been directly impacted by the pandemic. And what I mean by that is people who have, one, come down with the disease, and two, more importantly, who've lost someone. We've had team members within the Too Legit family who have lost parents, who have lost grandparents. I had a friend of 24 years who passed a week and a half ago. And before that, he had lost his mother and mother-in-law. So we're all carrying heavy hearts and taking this very seriously. And trying to stay active with this new normal has been challenging for lots. So for
Yeah.
those of us that are still able to get outside and do that responsibly, respecting social distancing and taking the necessary precautions, gives us a bit of normalcy. And there was probably about a 2.5 month, 3 month period where we canceled some of our regular workouts just to kind of let the dust settle, and also for the local authorities to kind of give us the green light to have groups that can gather more than just 10. So when that happened, I think at some point in maybe late May, early June, we got back to our weekday hammer time track workouts. But for me personally, being a longtime hospitality professional managing hotels, I made the decision in November of last year because of the commute from San Jose to San Francisco, making that commute for a decade, that I just wanted that time back for myself. So I left the hospitality business in San Francisco right as the pandemic was starting to emerge. We had some signs that it was coming, being in the hotel business, because a lot of our business is so diverse with a lot of international travelers. We were getting travel alerts from Asia that there was a pending restriction on people coming in from China. That's a portion of our business. So we're starting to get cancellations. And we had, I've managed through SARS and H1N1, swine flu. And I think initially we're like, okay, maybe it's just tied to this region and it's not going to impact business the way it did or impact the world the way that it did. I mean, I left the hotel business in late February, took my first trip of the year to Atlanta to watch the U.S. Olympic marathon time trials, which was a fantastic
Yeah.
experience. I
Mhm.
remember riding out there or flying out there and seeing a handful of people with masks on. Like,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Um, Crowded in Atlanta, great experience. I ran the Atlanta Marathon the following day on March 1st. Tough course, again, wonderful experience. On the way back home, flying, more people with masks on.
Yeah.
And, we're very familiar with the Run Local Race Series. They had their were scheduled to have their second annual St. Patrick's Day run, 5K/10K. And that event happens around my birthday. And that's when all the news reports where we started to see trickles of incidents happening in the state of Washington.
Yeah.
I think the first U.S. recorded death was reported there, but that actually, in later reports, the first death happened here in the Santa Clara
Yep.
County area. Um, and then when JT and team decided to initially postpone the Shamrock Run, and then every other race, the whole world changed as we know it.
Yeah.
Um, and it was a deep breath for everybody. And, understanding what we needed to do individually to take care of ourselves and our families and friends. And um, just take things one day at a time. And, getting tested. I think I've been tested 6 times so far. Um, and now that we're back to being able to meet responsibly, just encouraging everybody, if you don't feel well, stay home.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's okay if you don't feel well, then stay home. And
Mhm.
when you're around others, just do your part and respect space, hand sanitizer, face covering,
Yep.
and that everybody has an opinion, and we want to respect everyone's opinion. and there are those who would prefer to stay within their own personal bubble.
Yeah.
And that's very responsible around family members, et cetera, especially if you have aging parents that are living with you or grandparents or in your circle of travel. You want to be very mindful of who you come in contact with.
Mm,
Um, but it just gives you a greater appreciation for friendships, and
mm,
that you can't take every day for granted, and the importance on just real conversation and be able to connect with people. That's why I applaud you, Ian, for having this forum and looking to um, hear other people's stories, and because we all have our own unique background and contribute to our local community in our own way. So again, just kind of taking it one day at a time, remaining hopeful and optimistic. The approach, trying to bring a little bit of positivity each day and not have a doom and gloom approach.
yeah.
And just making sure that the Too Legit Fitness family, that we're doing our part, that we're bigger than what's the next race.
Yeah.
Did I get a PR? Look
Mhm.
at the bling.
Yeah.
That we have an eye on the community where we can pay it forward and donate our time, volunteer our time for people who are in less fortunate situations. So,
Yeah, that's great. I like how you guys have adapted and, you know,
thank you.
take a safety first approach. This is serious stuff, and some people may not feel comfortable, but at the very least, motivating people to do however they feel comfortable. Stay healthy for the long run, keep their goals. One of the big things that I've had to kind of transition towards, like, and you already